Hi, I'm Claudia St. I'm the president of Affinity HR Group. We are your HR partner and resource. I oftentimes get asked about employee recognition and reward programs and what are the best ones that are out there and how do you set them up. And so it's a very broad area, but basically reward and recognition programs tend to follow three basic categories. One is tied to the length of service that an employee's been working for a company. The second is to recognize a particular one-time great achievement, something done really, really well. And then the other is to recognize and celebrate ongoing performances. So it depends on which type of these programs you're looking at, but essentially there are some overarching categories that you want to think about when you're designing a successful recognition program. The first is that it's meaningful, meaning that it has some sort of a line of sight between the company and its performance or the culture of the organization, what you're trying to achieve. So there is a purpose behind it and it's not entirely random. The other is that it's spelled out pretty well, that there's a policy around the different types of recognition programs that you have. Now, the other thing about these programs is sometimes they can get kind of stale. So it's always good to revisit and reevaluate those programs and are they actually incenting the type of behavior that you want to see within your organization. But when they're defined pretty clearly, then people know what to expect of them. They know how meaningful it is, and then they can actually strive to be rewarded in the way that you want to reward them by doing the things that you would like to see happen within your organization. It's also important not only that they be clearly delineated and spelled out, but that they're also funded correctly. One of the things that really can create disengagement is to have a recognition program that isn't consistently applied or that's forgotten over time or that it fails to be a priority for management and leadership. And if one group sees themselves being recognized and rewarded and another group feels that they're not being recognized and rewarded in the same way, you can actually start hurting morale, which is obviously the opposite of what you want to accomplish. Finally, you also want to make sure that if you are doing some sort of a recognition and reward program, if there are financial implications to it, there can be tax consequences for employees. I always like to tell businesses that not everybody, not every personality wants to be recognized in the same way. Some people love to be highlighted and to be celebrated and to have public recognition, whereas others might want a little time off quietly and not want to have all of that public celebration. So having some kind of individualization to those programs so that people are recognized in a way that's comfortable for them, so that they don't feel like they're put in an awkward situation, or they don't feel like if they're recognized and somebody else isn't getting recognized, that they end up feeling bad. So these things are very sensitive. So recognizing that not everybody wants to be recognized in the same way is an important aspect. Finally, training your managers and supervisors on how to be the most effective in giving recognition, rewards, and praise. Again, if some people are doing it and others aren't, why is that? And how do we create some consistency around how these programs are rolled out? The last thing I'd say is that if you don't have a clear line of sight or you don't have a clear idea of what you want to accomplish in your reward and recognition program, ask your employees. They're the ones that are going to be on the receiving end, and they're the ones who may be really creative in coming up with ways that they would love to see themselves and others rewarded in the job. So there is no one clear, perfect program out there. I say the best thing that employees want is just keep trying. Just keep looking, Google, pay attention, talk to your peers, find out what others are doing so that you can always be coming up with new and innovative ways to show your employees that you recognize the good work that they're doing for you, and that will help their engagement on an ongoing basis. This is wonderful work and it's important work. We know that employees need to feel engaged and cared about and recognized at work. So all that you can do will help that effort. And of course, We at Affinity HR Group are here to help you with this effort. Don't hesitate to reach out to us at affinityhrgroup.com. Call us, email us. We're always here to help. And of course, we hope that you have a safe and productive work week. Take care.